Hello, everyone, and welcome to another episode of Schmidt Lavelle. My name is Tom Lavelle, and as always, I'm accompanied by Mr. Timothy Schmidt.
Timothy Francis Michael Schmidt.
TFMS. Timothy Francis Michael Schmidt. And nobody calls him Francis.
No, that's right.
We got a lot to cover on this week's episode. We're excited with you being here with us. We're excited that you're here with us. Listen, we've been out already. We've had a couple cocktails.
We've had wing night.
It was wing night.
Tom, give him the rundown, Tom. Why don't you give him the rundown?
The rundown on this week's show?
Yes. Why don't you give him the
First thing we're going to talk about, we're going to get into some of our comments and videos from last week. We're going to be talking about our wing night, first ever wing night that Schmidt Lavelle had with special guest Suds, where we went out and we reviewed some wings. We're going to get into decorations. When should they go up? When do they need to come down? Timmy's got a vacation to LSU. We're going to talk about that. Tom and his neighbor's bromance is blossoming. We're going to talk about back issues, back pain, a fantasy football update, a fantasy football update. Disciplining your children, and of course, your Philadelphia Eagles. How was that?
I don't know what that is, but okay.
It's like the announcer at the game.
No, they don't do that. No, they don't do that.
Yeah, they do.
I don't think so.
Yeah, I've been to enough games to know that is what they do.
Okay.
That's basically exactly what they do. But before we get into all of that, Timmy and I would like to thank you, the listener, out there listening, following, subscribing. If you don't already follow and subscribe, now's the chance. Hit that follow, hit that subscribe. Hey, maybe give us a share. Tell your friends, tell your family. Schmidt Lavelle, the hottest show in all of podcasts in the Philadelphia area. Tell them how great it is, how funny we are. How much you like listening to these two dopes talk about whatever, right?
Tom, you've hit it right on the head. You know, I went and shared, one of our clips today on my Facebook account. It's been the first time I've done that in a while, and so far I've gotten 2 likes. So we're making making headway here.
What clip did you share?
The Tinkles and Stinky.
I thought you shared that a while ago. No,
I shared it today.
Reshare?
Yeah, they'll reshare.
Oh man, Tinkles and Stinkies. Well, if you haven't checked out Tinkles and Stinkies, please go to Timmy's Facebook and check that out. One of our better clips, and definitely something we were cracking up about. All right, let's get into last week and some of the videos that we posted. First, we're going to go to our comments. Shout out to Mr. He Stiff. Fan of the show. We appreciate you listening. Mr. Heesif says, Tom, don't ever lump Cowgirl fans with Duke fans. What do you think about that? Was that a bad lump or?
Oh, I forgot that you did that. I didn't realize that you did that. I must have not been paying attention because I don't really listen to much you say. But yeah, no, Heestiff is a big Duke guy, huge Duke guy. And
Timmy, in the history of sports, hold on a second. Would you say that when we're talking about Cowboys fans and how they're basically like these front runners, they go Cowboys, and then you'll say the Lakers, and then you'll say the Yankees, and then I would say the team that people say with that is Duke. Like that was the country's basketball team to like with Coach K. Am I crazy or
no? You're not crazy. And that's the right answer. And I've been giving him shit for years about this whole Duke fandom. And you know what? He deserves it. He knows it. He is a front runner when it comes to Duke basketball. He has no affiliation to Duke whatsoever. He's just gravitated towards Coach K and all those players that have come through the era or the machine that is Duke.
Big Leitner guy.
Yeah, and look, here's the thing. When growing up and you're a fan of college basketball, you are on one side or the other. Either you're a Duke or a Carolina guy. It's always been that way. And BB, aka He Stiff, falls on the side of Duke. And I'm a Jordan guy, man, all day, every day. You know, he must have loved Christian Leitner.
Bobby Hurley, is that the
Yeah.
guy?
No, I mean, yeah, look, more power to him, but yeah, I'm a Tar Heel guy. Never look, I'm not freaking out after every game, you know. I'm more of a Villanova basketball guy than I am anything else, more local, right? Like
Right.
I like to see the local teams play well. Duke, St. Joe's, Temple, Brandon and Aaron McKee today.
Fan of the
But
show, Aaron McKee. He
yeah, yeah,
noted, he recognized you, right?
yeah, he flagged me down. But no, like the local teams, right? Big five guys. But yeah, he's more of a Duke guy. So
And I
see
don't
how
hate that. I kind of college basketball. If I were to say I had a team that I cheered for, it would be Villanova. But like in general, I just kind of liked watching good games. If I had a second team, I mean, UCLA. I loved UCLA. You know, a non-Philadelphia team. I was a UCLA fan. The O'Bannon brothers and what was it, Kobe Bailey back in the day when they won a national championship. I was a fan of that, and
Kobe Bailey, you mean?
Kobe Bailey, whatever.
Toby.
Uh, Kobe. Either way,
Toby.
Toby. Whoa, Toby. His name. I don't want to get into that. So, uh, he also says, I've never seen an episode of Friends, but can acknowledge its popular cultural significance. Add a babe. Tim, we got a lot of comments about our friends, my friends' take, and I want to get into those right now. From underscore Smeechy, I am in full support of Tom in this one. Maybe it wasn't the most diverse show on TV, lol, but the Ross, Rachel, and Chandler Monica storylines were some of the best ever. But the thing with this show is remembering where I was watching the finale, hanging out with my roommates in college, and knowing where we had to be on Thursday at 8. It's the nostalgia at this point. From Nikki Lavelle, overrated. From Dis06, show was garbage. From Steubens, Friends was awful. On TikTok, from Christian Bird, watch the show without a laugh track and you'll realize how not funny it is. LMAO. Which is ironic because I called that. I said that when we were talking about Friends, that people will say, watch it without the laugh track. First of all, Friends was filmed in front of a live audience. I said, watch a stand-up show without any laughter and tell me how good it is. He responded, in general, for anything, if it's your sort of comedy, you'll laugh regardless of laugh track or not. It wasn't a laugh track. It was a live audience. I respect your opinion, not trying to be a D. I said the laughter adds an element to a lot of live shows. The silence can make it seem like jokes or stories didn't hit. I also respect your opinion. Not really, you dope. Timmy, I said it last week and I'll say it again. I think it's become a popular thing to say Friends is no good. That's all. I think it's like this jump on Nickelback or Creed or make fun of Friends or whatever it is and say it's bad.
Yeah, no, Friends is we talked it. Yeah, I mean, I'm not going to revisit the whole conversation, but yeah, I agree with you. You have to recognize that Friends is a top sitcom of an era, of a generation, really. I mean, it hit home just like any other sitcom, like Cheers or like Mork and Mindy or like any other TV show of different eras. Like you acknowledge its greatness and you have to be okay with it. You move on from it, and you know that's that. Like you can't argue the ratings, you can't argue what it did for society. People still will fight it to today that it was one of the greatest comedy sitcoms of all time. And yeah, like if you didn't like it, so be it. It's not your cup of tea. You probably liked any other of this, Third Rock from the Sun probably during that area, or Seinfeld, or
Two and a
whatever.
Half Men or something like that, you know.
Family
Everybody loves
Matters.
Raymond was great, but
It was the
Friends was
best.
awful. Yeah.
Yeah.
I was a
So
big Frasier guy, but Friends, that's terrible.
it's awful.
All right. A comment from our boy Suds says, my wife has really only ever taken 2 nut shots, in quotes, referring to me, saying that the total tally of nut shots was worse than the pain of childbirth. I was having a little fun with that one, Timmy. But I mean, that is funny to see in text. Quote, my wife has really only ever taken 2 nut shots. I said that last week. And honey, they were really those were tough nut shots. Now, another thing that was just reached out to me, I told a story last week about childbirth and how I had a friend who filmed the birth, his parents filmed the birth of their children and how the anesthesia wouldn't work. Well, that friend heard the story, said it brought PTSD because his parents had him watch the video, and he confirms that it was a C-section, that the anesthesia didn't work. And what had happened was it was too far along in the birthing process that they couldn't give any more anesthesia or painkillers because it would have hurt the baby. The baby's too small. So she had to have a C-section without any pain medicine.
Oh my God, dude.
Yeah. And the guy filmed it. Put the camera down, Dad.
Well, no, I don't even get that. That's like straight out of like
Saw.
no, yeah. Like that doesn't make any sense to me. How are you? All right, so like I watch these movies, right? And look, I know they're movies, but you see Saving Private Ryan, right? And there's a guy on the beach and his intestines are hanging out of his body, and they're like, they got morphine and they're hitting dudes with morphine left and right. Like, how can you not hit like your wife was like during a C-section with some morphine?
Well,
Like
that's the thing. If she hit with the morphine, the baby would die because it was too
really?
far along. Yeah, there's a safe way, and now they're in this because then the morphine's going to hit the kid that's 6
Yeah, but
pounds.
it's a C-section. They're cutting it out, correct?
Yeah, but I mean, it's in the blood. It's not. It's connected until boom. So I think that's why they do the shot in the spine or something. I don't know.
Dude, I don't know. I'm not too
I
keen
mean,
on
William
that.
did stay at a Holiday Inn and Express last night, but we don't know all the ins and outs of childbirth.
Yes, we did.
But shout out to, and she's a wonderful woman. I don't want to say the name on the show, but shout out to her. God bless her.
Hell of a lady.
Unbelievable that she
You are a
got through
trooper.
that. And you know what? That might be worse than a nut shot. But all the other ones,
Let me just cut you open right in. Like, oh, no pain meds, nothing. That's
wow,
fucking bananas. Fuck
that is a crazy story. When I heard that, I was like, whoa. All right, to our last video and comments from this week. It's our Cowboys fans are the worst video. Cowboys fans are the worst. They're cockroaches. Go Birds. LBD commented, not a Cowboys fan, but Philly fans are the scummiest fans in sports. Agreed upon mutually by all fans. What's the song, Timmy? No one likes us. We don't care. You know.
Wait.
First of all, go. Please comment on that. We're the scummiest fans in all of sports, and apparently that's agreed upon mutually by all fans. So I guess all the other fans got together and voted on what was the scummiest fan, says Mr. LBD.
And this guy is a spokesman for all those fans. Is that
He's
what
there.
it is?
I guess he's the president of the other fans organization, and he got back to us to let us know that we, in fact, were the scummiest fans. And our reply to that was, "Well, thank you, sir."
The Player Haters Club. That's what he represents.
I mean, it's
That's
hypocrisy, right, Tim? I mean, people like to bring up that we threw snowballs at Santa Claus, all that BS. And sure, we get rowdy and this and that. But I mean, I've heard plenty of stories about stabbings at other stadiums, someone vomiting on another fan at another stadium. We just played the Braves, and there was a call that was overturned, and they were throwing tons of stuff onto the field, right? Didn't that just happen?
there is a website called crossingbroad.com, which I visit frequently, and they do a hell of a job on there. If you ever get a chance, check their stuff out. But they do an excellent job with highlighting different events, negative events that happen at other people's stadiums, and they headline it and they say, "Oh, look, Eagles fans like say if there was like a fight or some sort of like incident in Minnesota, and the Minnesota's playing like say the Cowboys, and it's like they headline it and go, Eagles fans infiltrate, Vikings Cowboys game and start fight." Like
Yeah, right.
it's pretty good. But yeah, I mean the shit happens all over the place. Um we obviously get vilified every time something happens here. And it gets blown up just on just a whole different level because it's Philadelphia and we have a history. So whatever, we're done with it. We've been tired of it. It's been a terrible narrative for years and years and years, and we're trying to shed it. So
Honestly, I think that's part of the like the charm of Philadelphia fans is I feel like we're gonna be like come at you, but like honestly, I think when you get down to it, the Eagles fans are like nice people. I swear to God, I know it sounds crazy, but I feel like they'll give you a hard time. You suck, fuck you,
but
blah
it
blah
is
blah. But
also
then it's like, all right,
it's our Tom, it's our scarlet letter. Or if anyone knows this reference, it's our red badge of courage. It's something that like the Philly fans will always hold on to. As much as we hate hearing it in the national media, we get ridiculed for it all the time. But it's like, yeah, so what? We fucking fucking
yeah,
snowballs and Santa Claus, even though that not a single one of us, there's only one dude really that sent
yeah,
those fucking snowballs at Santa Claus. We collectively support that dude that did it. You know what? He was in the right because everyone knows that Santa Claus was just
a
a
drunk,
terrible, yeah, absolute hammered Santa Claus.
yeah.
And I mean, I feel bad for him too because, like, obviously he has family in Philadelphia. So,
So
but
what? I mean, he probably loved that they were throwing snowballs at him. You know what I mean?
yeah.
Um, all right. So we want to thank you again for all the comments and interacting with the show. Please leave some more after this show and tell us what you think and tell us if there's anything that you want us to talk about. We love hearing from you and we appreciate you out there. We love you. Ba-da-ba-ba-ba. All right. So, Timmy, first night
Tom,
of hopefully many, our first wing night. And we were sitting around talking, and me and you, we both love wings. And we want to kind of we live in like I'm just on the outskirts of Philadelphia. You are just on the edge of Philadelphia. And we talked about different wing spots, and we kind of want to find right now the local wing spots that are the best to go to, and to be like, wow, if you're going to get wings, you got to go to this place, right? Wasn't that the idea?
yeah, I mean, everyone has their opinion. Like, look, we keep on hearing like about like cheesesteaks and this and that, like hoagies, like who's got the best this, who's got the best that. And like, we're not going to sit there and do videos or pizza reviews or anything like that. That's not what we want to do. We just kind of want to go out, taste the wings ourselves. We're not going to evaluate it on a scale of 1 to 10. We're not going to do anything that's already been done before. But we just want to figure out, like, hey, in our opinion, who's got the best wings in the neighborhood, like from the Schmidt Lavelle standpoint, like from our perspective.
So
And
we are kind of
yeah,
evaluating
well, yeah, I guess.
them. But we're not going to do 1 to 10, but we're going to you're going to know that when we say this is a good wing spot, you're going to know you're going to get a good wing. We're not going to
Yeah,
bullshit you. Should you
right.
tell them maybe kind of what we look for in a wing?
Yeah, so we're just looking for, like, if anyone loves wings the way we love wings, usually you get a good naked wing, right? It's usually cooked a little bit more well done, and we're going traditional buffalo style wing. Like, that's really what makes a good wing. It's crispy. It holds up, right? Like you can eat multiple, you can knock down 12 in a sitting, like no questions asked. There's nothing undercooked or anything like that. So that's what we kind of look for. That's really what it makes a good wing. And in our opinion, we're gonna go out and we're gonna taste a bunch of these wings and we're gonna evaluate it. We're gonna see what we like and we're gonna put it out there. Our top five list, as we do top five lists a lot of time. And it's up to you guys if you want to go check them out. But we're gonna endorse these top five, top 10 possibly places that we go visit.
Right. And so we went to this one tonight. We went to PJ Wheelahands, and cool spot. We ordered the wings. We ordered the traditional buffalo, which is what's going to be like our main grade. And then we kind of left it up to the server there. Hey, if there's a sauce that you're known for, or there's like a special one that we have to have, we'll take that too. And we brought our buddy Suds with us. So there was three of us. We got to try three different sauces. All very good. I like them all, but a bit of a curveball, Timmy.
Major curveball today.
It
Yeah.
wasn't what we were looking for, but like, I mean, I can't deny it, and I hate to say it. It was a lightly breaded wing. They're classic. We went with what they had, and man, it was good, dude.
It
And
was.
it was better than their naked wing. I
Yeah.
think it was better than their naked wing.
Yeah. So we went out and we got so if you ever been to PJ Woolhands, obviously it's a chain, but like they're very well known for their wings and their sauces. And we went with a traditional hot. We went with a Nashville hot, and then we left it up to the waitress, and she brought out some garlic parm for us. And much to our chagrin, all three were breaded wings, 10-piece breaded wings of each flavor. And I was dumbfounded. I'm like, wait a second, these are your classic wings? This doesn't make any sense. Like, whenever you order a wing, it comes out usually completely naked, which is no breading on it, right? Just traditional wing. So then after we ate pretty much a majority of those wings because they were so good, we had to go and venture into the naked wing department, and we ordered 10 traditional buffalo style hot wings. And man, it just didn't compare. Like, the sauce didn't hold up. I mean, I don't know whether the breaded part of the wing held the flavor in terms of what we were eating, but it just didn't compare at all. And yeah, hey, look, if that's the case, then so be it. I mean, that's a solid damn wing.
It both were good, and I liked the non-breaded, but it was just like it was like a burst of flavor with the breaded, and it's a light coating. It's not like a thick, like heavy coating on there. It was a light coating, but enough there. It added a nice crunch, and those was like that burst of flavor, and it was better than the naked wing. So if you're gonna go to PJ's, I would say Schmidt Lavelle agrees. One, get their classic, which is a light breading. Two, we loved that Nashville hot. Like, that was the sauce to
Yeah,
get.
yeah. It was slamming. It was one, not what I expected. Nashville hot, you get that on some chicken sandwiches here and there. Like they force feed that new like terminology, like a new sauce, like, but like, dude, these were really good. But yeah, I really, I'm a big wing guy. Love the breaded Nashville hot. I would suggest it. Go there, check it out. Eat those wings, and you will not be disappointed.
No, you won't. And so as of right now, the first place we went to, that's going to be at the top of our list. But in the weeks to come, we'll be going to more places, and we'll eventually we'll have our full list and where
Cool.
we think is the top spot, and we'll put it all out there for you to see. So it'll be interesting to see if the next place we go to can overtake PJ Wheelhands, because it's gonna be tough to beat. That was
Also,
good wing.
also very cool to see PJs into the neighborhood locally. There's not a lot of sports bars in the area in terms of Lafayette Hill, Manioc, Roxbury, like all these areas. And PJ's just has like just an awesome ambiance. It's right in the Plymouth Meeting Shopping Center where REI is. Yeah, I think there's a Weiss there too as well. Is that it?
Yep. That was a
Yeah.
Weiss Market. There's a Dunkin' on the corner, Five
Yeah.
Guys.
So if you ever get a chance, get up there, watch a game. It just opened probably less than a month ago, and there's a lot of buzz out there, and it's a cool spot, man. Check it out.
Definitely a cool spot. Go check it out. It's no Graham's Pub, but it's good. So let's get to our next thing that we want to talk about is Halloween just passed, Timmy. And everyone knows that I won the decoration wars in my neighborhood. Everyone's talking about it. They're all abuzz. Tom Lavelle, best decorated house in his neighborhood. The question now becomes, as the days after Halloween went by, and it's a chore to take all this stuff down, Timmy, what is the time limits on taking the decorations down? First, when can you start putting decorations up for a holiday? And it might change for each holiday. And when do the decorations need to be down after that holiday?
I think each holiday has a different kind of take on it. Like Christmas, I think you can run Christmas for a month and a half, dude. Like I really think you can get away with just leaving that up there. People get in the festive spirit. Um, but like Halloween, I think is a 2 week before, 1 week after, total 3 week window that you can put up, right? Because you're really trying to build something there. A lot of people like to do the local haunted house, or they get in these like stupid like neighborhood like decorating wars, which are just
Hmm.
pointless. And
Hmm.
like I mean, I
Only
don't.
a dope would do something like
Yeah,
that.
I
Yeah.
mean, yeah, who would do something like that?
He's probably
Um,
doing it and like his neighbors don't even they're not even competing. They're just trying to
re-
do something nice. And there's probably one idiot out there that's like, well, I gotta be better than them. But it's like, dude, we're
yeah,
just trying to make the holiday nice.
yeah, it's just we're just trying to make the neighborhood look nice. You don't have to be like crazy competitive about it. It's all right. Um, so yeah, I think there's different holidays that
Can you put up
have
Christmas decorations before Thanksgiving?
no,
Lights don't go on. Can you put them up and not turn them on before? Like if you were to say you get a nice day, today was a
no,
nice day. Can
no,
I put the lights up, but they're not
no,
going on and then
no,
Thanksgiving night, boom?
no,
No.
unless you're decorating for Thanksgiving. I know my family likes to decorate for Thanksgiving. We put up turkey lights. We got little turkeys out in the lawn. Um, and we sit them out there. We do like the whole cornucopia, the whole deal with the corn stalk, and
A bale of hay and stuff.
yeah, we
Some
get
pumpkins.
we got the pilgrims out there, and we decorate like that.
Do
So
you
that's fun.
really?
No,
Ah, I was like, what? You got turkeys and pilgrims?
no. If you're decorating for
Oh my
Thanksgiving,
god. Yeah, we
you're
build like it's like it almost looks like a Mayflower, right? It's basically
we got we put Plymouth Rock out
yeah.
there. We
Oh my
we we,
god. I
we
hate you.
use the Christopher Columbus statue since they don't use it anymore
Yeah,
downtown.
right.
They
It
like
was torn down, but you thought, hey, one man's trash is another man's treasure. This will be great for
uh
my neighborhood.
uh no, but look, we're getting way way off topic. But I think there's only a few holidays that you can really decorate for. And like, look, the other holidays are just like, hey, like let's throw out like a you know like something in the window.
There's a lot of people with the flags. They'll have like a holiday flag you'll see. They'll
Fourth of
be like,
July, I love the Fourth of July decoration. I
oh well,
love
the
yeah,
American flag and
yeah,
just like the little ones all around the yard and
yeah.
yeah, that's
Mhm,
cool
mhm.
stuff. But the so I would say Thanksgiving light. We have a little scarecrow. I have some things that plug into the yard like these little like you know um harvest things, and we put out some pumpkins not carved, bale of hay, and some lighting. I always do lighting. I think that's nice. Thanks or uh Halloween. I took it down. So Halloween was on a Tuesday. all my stuff was down on that by the end of that week. I took it down by Sunday and I said, okay. And I actually packed it away neatly. I was like, whoa, this is new. I got a bin, a special bin for it. I folded everything up, put it in there, fit it into the shed. We're good to go. Christmas, I feel like anytime, like I like my Christmas decorations to be up like the day after Thanksgiving. I like my decorations to be up, ready to go because I want to get as much time with my Christmas decorations as I can. It's a magical thing. It like, and especially we both have young kids. When my son has brought the spirit of Christmas, the joy of that holiday back into my life that's been gone for a while as a young adult. I think you get into your 20s and you're like, okay, yeah, whatever. At least me personally. And then when he came back in and to see his like joy with the Christmas decorations, it just like boom. And I was like, he's made it the greatest thing ever. So I go all out.
Well, Tom, he didn't come back in. I mean, you brought him into the world.
That's right. It's
So that
almost, yeah,
was
my wife took that nut shot, brought him into the world, and
there. You go. Two nut shots.
two nut shot. Well, the other one, yeah, of course.
Uh yeah, no, the Christmas thing is big. And I've been like a lot of people will also talk about the tree, Tom. Like how when do you buy the tree? When do you put it up? When do you take it down? Um I am a natural tree guy. I can't have a fake tree in the house.
I agree with you. I love the smell. I love water. Like I like
The
the whole deal.
smell is huge for me. It's just it
Huge.
sets the whole mood. It's the tree, the smell of it, the whole ambiance, as we say, with the lights. And there's nothing better, Tom, when you so there's a couch next to it, and like even when I have my apartments, when you set up the tree, you have it fully decorated, and you throw the Yule log on the TV on demand, or you even have a fireplace. You throw that on. You got the music going in the
Christmas
background.
music,
You
the
sit on the
smell of
couch.
pine.
You sit on the couch and you stretch out, and the Christmas tree's lit up. Not there's no presents under it yet, but it has a glow and it's shining on the ceiling, and it's just it's a beautiful moment, dude, where you're
Yeah,
just
it's
like,
gratifying. Like you,
oof,
especially all the light, like the tree and the lights, like the whole thing. It's a chore, but when you're done, it is like this is nice. This is
yeah,
really it gets you in the spirit. So if you're not decorating, do yourself a favor. Get some decorations, put them up there, enjoy that, even if it's a small tree, putting it up, going and getting it, it's a whole thing. And so we want to give a shout out real quick to the Secret Garden owned by Mr. John Lynch in Roxborough. I am good friends with the owner of Secret Garden, John Lynch, and I always get my Christmas trees there. And we might have a little surprise for our listeners out there in the future with the Christmas trees and the Secret Garden. Yeah, you're gonna have to hold out for that one, but we'll see what we can do with that. And the we're not gonna forget about Thanksgiving, but we do have a lot of things coming up for the Christmas season. Some top fives, some opinions, and we'll get to all of that in time to come. All right, Timmy, let's move on now. You've got a big weekend. You've got a big weekend coming up.
huge,
You, you,
huge,
and see,
huge.
this is great for you because I know you, and it seems like your wife has been going out every weekend for the last couple months, and you never get a chance to do anything, and you finally get to go out, let loose, have some fun. You've planned this trip, and good for you. No, that's me that hasn't been out. But either
That's
way,
you. Yes. I don't have a wife. I caught you there.
let the fans know you're headed to Louisiana. What's going on, and what are the plans for this weekend?
Well, every year, a group of our friends, we get together, and we have two different groups of friends here. And one group, we like to do a golf trip, which you guys probably remember if you were tuning in when we first started this little shindig back in March. We had a golf trip, and then we also have the group of friends that likes to do a college football experience, if you will, every year. And this weekend is the experience that we chose, and we are going down to Baton Rouge, which is in Louisiana. It is LSU, also known as Death Valley. And Death Valley will take place to the Florida Gators versus the LSU Tigers. We thought it was going to be a little bit more of a marquee matchup. It's always a good matchup because it's an SEC battle, and it's late in the season. It usually determines seeding for the SEC championship in football, but uh, both teams are a little bit struggling this year, but it's still going to be a banger of a game. It'll be fun. And we're heading down there. It's going to be a ball. We got a tailgate set up. We're going to be eating alligator. It's going to be awesome.
Really? You're going to eat some alligator, or you don't know? You're just saying that.
I love alligator. I'm a big croc guy.
That's a croc.
Yeah,
Frog legs?
probably.
Po' boys?
Maybe.
Crawfish?
Definitely.
Tim, when are you heading down and when you come back? How long of a trip is this?
It's just a weekend getaway. So we're going down Friday morning, and then we'll be back on Monday afternoon. Hopefully the flights hold up okay. But yeah, dude, it's a quick getaway. It's our first time really getting on a plane and traveling somewhere for a college game, because we've done a lot of like driving to local games up and down the coast, because a lot of guys can't really get on a flight and get going somewhere. So it's our first time that we're really extending ourselves to really major college football. Like we were going to like weird like Division I football games. It was like, hey, like Syracuse plays UConn. Like, let's go check it out. Like,
well, SEC, man, you can't beat that. I mean, that's the best in the nation.
I've been to I've been to ACC. Like, you go to football down south, it's a whole different animal. But like, yeah, the guys that were running this trip, and I don't know if any of them are listening to the podcast, but like every year it was just like, hey, let's go check out like Air Force at Akron. It's like, all right, let's go check it out. It's gonna be great. And
Now,
finally,
have they done research, Timmy? Are you allowed to buy alcohol in the stadium? Some college teams, they don't sell alcohol in the stadium. I've been to some games and you get there and you're like, oh, let's get a beer. And there's like, oh, there is no beer here.
feeling that the SEC is probably a little different. Like, they're the ones that are printing the money for for the entire NCAA. But I've been to games in the past. I don't know about LSU, to answer your question. I don't know about that. But I've been to games where they've let you out of the stadium. Like, I went to Clemson, South Carolina, probably about 10 years ago, and they stamped your wrist at halftime and let you go out and tailgate and come back in.
Really?
Yeah.
Wow.
It's just strange.
You don't see that very often. I mean, I've never heard of that. I heard once you leave, they go, "Hey, you leave, you're done. You're not coming back." So
Yep. Yeah.
well, Timmy, that should be a great time. LSU, Florida. Any dog in the fight there? Do you care who wins, or
I don't give a shit.
just looking for a good time, watch some good football, see the SEC experience, hang out with your bros. Speaking of bros, Tim,
Mm-hmm.
there's a bromance of brewing, and we've touched on it on past episodes between me and my neighbor, and how our kids are in similar ages. We started to see them at the pool. We exchanged numbers, and this was the first time that we've actually gotten a chance to I received a text, hey, what are you doing this Saturday? We're going to be around. Do you think the kids would want to hang out? I'm going to set up the bago boards, blah, blah, blah. So
I'll be
I
at the
said,
pool.
I kind of honestly, and fans of this show know that me and you are big wrestling fans. In fact, we have a show called Jabroni Drive, which is a professional wrestling show. If you don't already listen, you're a fan of professional wrestling, that's one to check out. But
Shameless plug.
there was a PLE this week, and it started at 1 p.m. because it was over in Saudi Arabia. And I kind of just wanted to like come home, relax, watch the PLE. Like we're gonna get into something. I'd messed up my back earlier in the week. I just wanted to chill, drink a beer. My wife, as we said, has been going out. She feels like she owes me some free time, and I could just kind of do my own thing. Well, he texts me, Friday, so I'll have to see what we're doing. I'll let you know. Then he follows up the next day. Hey, are we still down to hang out, this and that? And I'm like, I guess I should. And I'm like, yeah, okay. When are you like, we'll come over when this or this is going on. All right. Well, we're at the zoo. I'll hit you up when we get back. I said, all right, let me know. And then he texts me, we get back. And then I'm halfway through the PLE and I'm watching it and we're texting about it. I said, all right, Mickey, do you want to go down to the, and he's excited. Yeah. Oh yeah, I want to go. All right. We get up, we go down, we're hanging
Mm.
out. The kids are having a good time. He gets the bounce house out. He's got a little fire going. They want to make s'mores later. The bago's set, and we're having a good time. But Timmy, honestly, I made myself go. I didn't really want to, I will say, but I made myself go. I'm glad I went. A bit of an awkward situation though. We started playing bago, and another neighbor came down, and we're all playing.
Oh man, the third wheel. Oh, you didn't tell me you were inviting this guy.
Timmy, I dominated these guys in bago. It was a bit awkward, like hey, he was like, "Oh, this is fun." I said, "Yeah, I mean, I'm sorry, and like, should I have started shooting left-handed, or is that more of a
You gotta insert your dominance there, brother. I mean, you let them know who's boss. You gotta eat Tony Danza that shit.
Well, I was, I just started playing. I was like, let me try to do this and this and that. And I was on fire, Tim. I don't know if I need more back issues either. Either way, the bromance is blossoming, and I'm starting to get into more of a relationship and met a couple neighbors, which was nice. And found out apparently that we are on like the strange section of the neighborhood. There's a cul-de-sac. There's like two streets in this thing. And they said after this one house, it gets a little odd down there. And there are some, like I refer to it as the island of misfit toys, kind of where I'm at. And, without getting into too much detail, some of my neighbors are a bit strange.
Nobody wants a Charlie in the box.
Well, I got a couple Charlie in the boxes down here, and they're polite and nice enough, but I could tell that these folks stayed away from kind of my end of the neighborhood. And I said, "Hey, we're fine down here. There's nothing to worry about. Look at how nice my house is decorated."
Nobody wants a train with square wheels.
But come to find out, all the people in my neighborhood, the one guy's a lawyer, the other one's like a freaking astrophysicist or some bullshit like that. Like these are like smart people. And I'm like, what the fuck? And they're like, oh yeah, we do this. So Tom, what do you do? And I'm like, oh, I'm a bartender up at Graham's.
got a got a great podcast.
is is that something that people feel awkward about or is it just me? Like if I tell someone I'm a bartender, do you think it's an automatic like, oh, like, or am I supposed to be doing something else?
Do you want the real
Yeah, the real,
answer?
the real.
I think a lot of people are probably like, ugh.
Yeah, right. It's like, the amount of times I've heard in my life, like, so when are you going to get a real job?
Yeah,
It's like,
yeah.
it comes with that stigma. And if they know Graham's Pub, I guess there's sometimes a bit of a stigma about that as well. But it's almost like, it almost looks like it's taken as a job that, I don't want to say a fuck up. I don't know if that's like necessarily the words, but like
Well, here's the deal,
lesser.
Tom. Here's the deal, Tom. You are a responsible individual. You have a job. You make money, obviously. You have a house. You provide for your children. So who gives a fuck what
I don't.
anyone's? Yeah. So that's your answer. I would agree that there is probably that stigma that comes with being a bartender if that's your sole job, right? Like as you get older, right? Like people are like, "Oh, why is the guy still a bartender?" Right? Like
Right.
that's. But I think there is that line where you're like, hey, look, motherfucker. I'm like, yeah, I'm a bartender, but I provide for my family. I do this, I do that, I do this. I pay my mortgage, and my kids are fucking good. They go to good school. Like,
I
shut the
live
fuck up,
5
move on.
houses down from you. Like, what's
Yeah,
the big deal? You know, like,
yeah.
no, yeah, like, and I don't honestly, I don't think they really care. And I don't know if that's like, but it almost it's like the record stops when I say that. You know what I mean? It's bizarre. But so I don't know if that's me or, and then I feel bad that I've stopped the record. You know what I mean? Like we were having a nice conversation, and then it's like, oh well, Tom, what do you do? Well, I bartend up at the street. Oh, and then we're just like, okay, you know,
Is that all? Is that it? Is that
yeah.
what else?
How'd you
No,
do?
I
How'd you
actually
get
work.
there?
I actually work. I'm a janitor at Harvard.
Yeah, yeah. You know, like what I like to do is problems that they can't figure out. I like to kind of solve them. You know, that's just my thing. I know they have, and I don't like to take credit for it, but
Yeah,
you know, I have
yeah,
this photographic memory where
yeah.
I,
I have a hidden talent.
and after you read The People's History of the United States by Howard Zinn, you're gonna realize that all that was bullshit. So, how do you like them
Yeah.
apples? All right, Timmy. I did mention that on Thursday, the Thursday leading into this weekend, boom, I woke up, I did a little stretch, bam, something grabbed me right near my shoulder blade, and I could hardly, I couldn't move my head because it was connected to my neck. Somehow,
Your head. Wait, whoa, whoa. Your head's connected to your neck.
my neck, like, well, when I move my head, I have to, yeah, your head's connected to your neck. Yes, Tim. It is, in fact, connected to your neck.
It's
So,
incredible.
when I would move when I go to lift up my head, boom, it would like grab me and almost like shock me. Like, oh, I was like, oh fuck. Like I like had to like lift up, and I got a pretty big noggin. So this back issue from just stretching when I wake up, Timmy, I've had back issues before. Is this just something I'm gonna have to get used to with getting old, or
I think that back issues, there's certain things that really contribute to these back issues. I've had back issues all my life. But like sleeping on your side wrong, or sleeping on the mattress wrong, or anything like that, like, can really fuck your shit up, dude. Like, it's a mess. Uh I've had severe situations like where I've been completely debilitated to the point where like I can't even move. Um
yeah, it can get you that bad, dude. I almost was like, fuck, how am I gonna get through work? Because I worked Thursday night, woke up Friday. Holy shit, I completely forgot what I had to do Friday morning. I went into my fucking kid's school and read to this class. I was a secret reader, Tim. I showed up to this class. He was star of the week. My fucking back is jacked up. Like I'm like, fuck, I can't like this sucks. I get in there. The aide had called out. There was a substitute aide there and the teacher, sweetheart. She goes, hey, you know, you can read to the kids. My kid goes to this school as well. They're giving out an award to them in the
so wait,
church.
she's saying this to you.
She's saying this to me. Do you mind if I go over there while they're giving out? I want to like take some pictures and see it. And I'm like, okay, you know, like whatever. And she's like, all right, well, so and have the kids wash their hands, and then we'll have, you know, you can read the book, and then you can hand out the stuff. I'm like, am I teaching this class now? Tim, I went straight from the cafeteria to the teacher of kindergarten. Like, what a promotion. I'm going to tell my neighbors. And no, I don't bartend anymore. I'm the teacher.
I'm a first grade teacher, or whatever grade you're in. Dude,
Kindergarten.
kindergarten, that's incredible. No, that's great. Like, I can see you just sitting there, like, reading a story, and then after you're done, like, all right, kids.
Time to wash our hands. Let's have the girls go first. The one little kid stands up. Boys have a penis. Girls have a vagina. My
who's
kindergarten
heard of
cop
the
reference.
who's heard of the birds and the bees?
Who is your daddy and what does he do? I just basically went full kindergarten cop on them. You know, I
That's
brought a ferret with me.
that's wild. No, that's a pretty solid. Solid promotion, I would say.
Yeah. I wonder what that comes with. So now the next thing that they've asked us to do is they're going to be Thanksgiving coming up, and they like to do like a faux Thanksgiving and someone to make a turkey. My wife has signed us up to make a turkey for the kindergarten class now. So I'm like, okay, great. I guess I'm making a turkey for the kindergarten class.
So wait. What were we talking about before you started teaching
Back
the
pain,
class?
back pain.
Oh, back pain. Yeah. So I will tell you this. I'll tell you this one story about back pain. I was in Cincinnati, Ohio. It was Father's Day. Um, and this is before I had kids. And it was 2012. And I was like playing a lot of golf at the time. And in the morning, I drove over to Kentucky to this awesome, like ridiculous golf driving range. So I get out there. Tom, I'm a young strapping man at that point, Tom. I'm 30 years old. I'm at peak like power, driving the ball as far as I could possibly drive it. And I'm just hammering drives off the mat. And I'm looking up and down. And it's a great scene, Tom. We're in Kentucky. There's fathers with their sons, and there's instructions going on. And you can see it's just like a whole solid thing, right? And it's like, yeah, I can't wait to do this with my kids, and I'm still piping drives. I'm like, oh, let's see if this one can go over the trees, that type of shit.
The amazing ball whacker guy.
Yeah. And dude, I swear to God, I had 4 balls left. And as you get towards the end of the bucket, you're starting to run out of steam, but like you really want to start pumping them. Like you're putting all your effort into these last like 4 drives. And I seriously swung out of my shoes to the point where it felt like I got hit with a fucking bullet in the back of my spine so bad, like back pain so bad that I fell to the ground. And I'm laying on the driving range, like screaming in pain because my back slipped out. That's what happened. I had a slip disc. It popped out. It was penetrating my spine to the point where I couldn't tolerate the pain. So I'm laying down. I have my eyes closed. I'm screaming at the top of my lungs. I'm dropping F bombs left and right. And like, dude, I open up my eyes and it's like dads and their sons all like over top of me. And I'm F bombing left and right. And they're like, you okay, sir? And I'm like, I can't move. I'm like, I need help. Like, I need help. And so they called 911. And
No.
yeah, because I couldn't stand up. I couldn't move. So 911 comes, like I'm laying there for probably 15 minutes, and I hear like the boo. So an ambulance starts coming into the driving range, right? And it starts driving across like where all the golfers would be hitting their balls, and like over the loudspeaker, it's like, please hold your drives. We have a injured man on the tee box. Please withhold all drives.
Oh my God.
Dude,
Dude, that's embarrassing. Oh
dude,
my
they
God.
they get me on the gurney. They put me in the ambulance. They drive me to the hospital. Right, I get in the hospital and like I go in the ER. Dude, they hooked me up with so much fucking drugs, like to the point where like um I walked out of the ER. Like I'm like, oh, I'm fine. Like dude, IV'd me with I don't know what it was, but it was like painkillers, obviously. And I walked out, I drove home enough time for the US Open. And I'm like sitting in my chair, in my recliner, in my apartment in Cincinnati, Ohio. And I'm like melting into the chair watching the US Open. I'm like, oh, this is great. Like, this actually worked out well. Except I didn't realize that the drugs were going to wear off. So I like at some point I had to get up to go to the bathroom, and like I stood up, and it felt like I got hit with a bullet again, and I fell down to my knees and laid on the fucking my apartment floor. I was on the floor, no lie, for 3 days, living, crawling to the bathroom, like almost
Oh
like shit,
my
like
God.
shitting myself and pissing myself because I couldn't stand up. Like I had one of my employees bring me my drugs, and he had to like almost break into my apartment to give me my fucking pain
Because you're
medication.
like,
So
dude,
I
I can't even get up to open the door.
nah, I was down for a week and a half because of that. Like it was the
Oh
worst.
my God. Did you have to have a surgery or
Now I just went through rehab, and um like it's always been an issue, but it's just that's the worst pain I've ever felt in my life. Like so debilitating. Dude, I crawled to the toilet and pulled myself onto the toilet and pulled myself across and laid on it and pissed into the toilet.
like planking?
Like like because I couldn't stand up,
Oh
dude.
my God.
Like
That sucks.
I had to keep myself as straight as possible, or else it would, because like when you get that little disc, dude,
No, I know, dude.
it
I'm telling you,
penetrates, and it's the worst pain in the fucking world, dude.
this kid that we got and this like my youngest son, dude, I swear to God, after he was born, I slept in that hospital that night on like the chair that they have there. My back was fucked up for 6 months after that. Like fucked up. Like I'd be trying to like put something in the dishwasher and I'd almost fall over and I had to catch myself like and it's just like it just gives. And there's nothing and the pain is like crazy. And I was like there was nothing I could do and I would be so pissed off and it sucks because I would be like I'd be like almost angry at my kid like this fucking kid fucked up my back like I'm so fucked up right now that like I could barely lift them I could do and so then this one was different this one was just like a muscle thing
Yeah,
it wasn't
muscles
like
are
the
different,
other
but
one
like,
was like the other one was like a disc or I don't know what it was but
uh,
it lingered for a long time
yeah,
dude back injuries are the worst.
it's not fun, dude. Like,
Oh, that sucks. And you're like smoking drives, and then your fucking back gives, and you're on the like from like, man, look at this guy. He's really crushing it to like, what the fuck? Just
dude,
like,
the worst part is this. Like, dude, check me out. I was like this. Like, this is the this is the floor. I call my boss. I'm like, Bill, I can't make it this week. I can't stand up. It's like, what is going on with you? I was like, dude, you have no idea what I'm like. I'm calling out of work, and I hate calling. I never called out of work in my life. Like I never
right.
did, and I couldn't stand up, and I felt awful about it. I was like, dude, I can't move. It's like,
Oh my God.
uh,
That sucks, dude. That's a crazy story. Unbelievable. If you've had back pain out there, you know how bad it can be. And fortunately for us, our backs sometimes hurt, but our fronts are always nice. You know what I
not
mean?
not me.
That come on, the front? No, you got a
Eh,
nice front there, Timmy.
thanks, buddy.
All right, so we still got some stuff to cover here. We're you know what, folks? We don't usually run too late, but this might be a little bonus time for you, a little extra Schmidt and Lavelle, and we're just gonna get into it. First and foremost, real quick, let's get to a fantasy football update. Timmy, rough week, sad ending. You know, I didn't have the highest score in the league, but I found a way to win. And that'll put me a game up on you in the standings. And I just want to remind people that we do have a bet. And I don't want to hear about any back injuries when you have to carry my bag at Walnut Lane and caddy for me when I win the bet of the best overall record from this season, right?
Well, Tom, as much as you found a way to win, I found a way to lose. And I lost to Ferg, which was a brutal thing to do too, because Ferg is just a different individual when you lose to him, and when he has one up on you, it's even worse. So, um, yeah, I mean, I needed like 13 points to win the game, and his defense. I had Keenan Allen versus his defense. I was down 4 points going into the final game of the weekend, and his defense put up 28 points, and my Keenan Allen put up 15. So if you're doing the math, that didn't really work out in my favor.
Yeah,
So
yeah.
so, so you're up, yeah, you're up one game, and
I'm up one game, but right now you'd hold the tiebreaker in scores, and you have a significant lead in the points for department. But we're number 2 and 3 in the league, and we will definitely be keeping you all posted about that as the season goes on. Maybe it'll get a little bit tighter, or maybe it'll someone will run away with it. You never know. A couple weeks left in the regular season, and we'll see what happens. All right. So let's get to, and we'll have to bring up a topic for next week. We're going to skip it. But this week, there was a big debate, and I think a difference of opinion. The Philadelphia Eagles at 1-8, just kidding, at 8-1, are the best record in the league. They're going into their bye week, a tough fought victory against the Dallas Cowboys, Tim. And the bottom line is that fucking game pissed me off a lot. It really made me upset. Frustrating game to watch. A lot of issues with this team, and there's been a lot of issues with this team throughout the regular season. Week 1, we barely hold on against the Patriots, but we hold on. Okay, that's a road game. You're going against Bill Belichick, whatever. We go to overtime against the Commanders. Well, the Commanders actually might be a little bit better than we think, and they're a division team, blah, blah, blah. We lose to the Jets. The Jets have a good defense. It was on the road. It's just a bad game for Hurts. It's something that we almost lose to the Vikings. Well, the Vikings, they're pretty. Kirk Cousins is doing good. My point is, we've been making a lot more errors this season than we did last year. And if we do not fix these errors, this 8-1 is a facade. It's fool's gold. It's nothing. We need to fix the errors. I'm getting very frustrated with them
yeah,
not being able to
yep,
fix what's going on.
you're
And
right.
you seem to have a bit of a
Spot on.
difference.
You're spot on, Tom. If we don't fix these errors, we might as well. We're probably going to go 8-9. I mean, we're going to probably lose 8 in a row. I mean,
I
there's no other way. Yeah, there's no other way to see it, Tom, because
possible.
this team is terrible. The coaching's bad, players are bad. I mean, we should just reset it. I mean, we're almost the worst team in the league right now. I mean, it's that bad.
Mhm.
We've been making fun of all the people that have talked shit on the
And then I
Eagles,
flip.
and then you go and flip because of one game against one of probably the better teams in the NFC. We finally play some legitimate competition. They play almost a complete game. I will give to you that the fourth quarter was an absolute abomination. I don't know how the hell they held on to win the game, but good teams find a way to win games like that, Tom. And that's why the Eagles are 8-1 and the Cowboys are 5-3 or whatever the fuck they are right now. You are the best team in the league. There's nothing to panic about. They have a bye now. They're going to get healthy. You'll see a little bit better personnel on the field moving forward, hopefully without injuries. It's Tom. There's nothing to be concerned about. I really don't.
Mm.
The secondary, in my opinion, is your biggest issue. But it's still beat up. Like Bradley Roby still has been out since he first signed with the team 3 weeks into the season. He's going to be your nickel guy. Bradbury and Slay need to be better. Your safeties, need to be better. But your secondary, I think, is your biggest flaw. The offense is fine. Defensive line, I think, is fine.
Hmm.
What?
Look, I don't think the offense is fine.
No?
I no, and this is my big concern. And this is where I think it's more of a we're getting in our own way. I think we are the best team in the NFL when we play that way. And if we play like we did this past week, we're not gonna win the Super Bowl. So we had last year going after 9 games, 7 turnovers. We had turned the ball over 7 times, 4 in 1 game last year in the first 9 games. This year, we have 13 turnovers in the first 9 games. That's almost double the amount of turnovers we have from the first 9 games last year. Last year, we had forced 20 turnovers in the first 9 games. This year, we've forced only 11 turnovers. And frankly, we should have more than 13 turnovers because there was several situations this past weekend where we almost lost a fumble. We got it. We held on. We held on to that game. And I don't think it was more of a finding a way to win as Dallas found a way to lose that game this past week. And what was some of our first, like, really tough competition, quote unquote tough. What's good for us is we are a very talented, very good team. And that's maybe what's so frustrating to me is that they still are doing these mistakes. We're hurting ourselves. Like we're not getting out of our own way. Like prime example, towards the end of that game, we do this fucking end around handoff, and our running back runs right into AJ Brown. AJ Brown like almost knocks out fucking Swift. He fumbles the fucking ball. Luckily, we get it back. Our offensive lineman that was starting like his first game recovers a fucking fumble, and we hold on by the skin of our teeth. Then 3rd and 3 with 4 minutes left in the game, and you do some fucking jump ball out of bounds pass instead of running the fucking ball, which we ran pretty well on them. Even if you gain 2 yards, you do the push after that, and it's a first down, and you kill the clock. And we've had a late turnover fumble against the Patriots in week 1, which was like, whoa, that's a bad turnover. Flashbacks to the Super Bowl last year. The interception against the Jets is like, you cannot have that interception against the Jets. Like, that's a terrible interception in a game that we should have won. And I'm just saying these things are creeping in. I still think we're the best team in the NFC.
Why can't they be perfect, huh?
No one's perfect. I get that. And they're playing against other NFL teams, and I get that too. I'm Paul Revere. The Redcoats are coming. All right. We got to fucking fix this shit. If we want the goal at the end, if we don't win the Super Bowl this year, not a successful season. I mean, you got to win a Super Bowl, and that's it. And I've seen
I
this.
would say I would say that that's fair expectations. I would also say that there's only one team that wins the Super Bowl every year. You do realize that. I'll also tell you that you sit there and you trash the offense, Tom. But I also can tell you that, Tom, the offense right now in the league, number 2 in points per game, number 3 in yards per game, number 1 in third down conversion percentage, number 1 in fourth down conversion percentage. They are executing at an all-time level. Like, you can't sit there and tell me that they're not a good offense when they're top 3 in the league in all those categories. So,
Where are
I
they in
mean,
the turnovers?
13th, I believe, where
13th in
they
turnovers?
where they need to improve is red zone, and they also need to improve, yeah, obviously on turnovers. Jalen Hurts is, I think, number 2 in the league in turnovers. But guess what, Tom? They've overcome those because they're 8-1. There's only one game where it really cost them, and that's the Jets game. So yeah, I agree with you, but they're obviously overcoming those issues that you cited and that they've promised to clean up. In the last 2 games, you know how many turnovers Jalen Hurts has?
0.
Yeah. So
And he
I
didn't
think
have
they're
one. And I do feel like when we don't turn over the ball, you still can't tell me that this past week, the offense, that fourth quarter, and particularly in finishing games, it's been a
no,
struggle.
no, No, it has not been a struggle because
It
they
has.
wear. No, it has not.
We've
They've
been holding on. We haven't been finishing.
Tom, they've driven down the field. They've held the ball on 3 different occasions for over 7 minutes on drives in the fourth quarter. Like they've done that 3 different times. This is the only game where they have not really done that. The defense
The
has.
Patriots had a chance to win the game when they played us. The Vikings had a chance to come down and score and win the game when they played us. We
I
went into
cited.
overtime against
I've
the.
cited Tom. It doesn't work like that all the time. Yeah,
I know.
Tom, that's going to happen. But you're sitting there trying to tell me that the offense doesn't do anything. Like it's. I
I didn't
just
say they didn't
cited
do anything. I said we're out of
28
sync.
points, 28 points per game. They're doing something right. They're doing
Right.
something
They
right.
have
And
more
the
points this year than they did last year from week 9. Like through the first 9 games, they have more points this year than they did last year. Of course, we've led up 67, 28 more points this year than we did last year in the first 9 games. The turnovers and not getting the turnovers is big to me. And then the
yeah.
bonehead shit that's been happening, the timeliness of those turnovers.
So what do you want them to win one more game? You want them to be 9-0 and you'll be happy?
No. I want them to win a convincing start to finish shutdown game. I've got teams that don't have as good of a record that I feel more confident in right now, but
Like
they
who?
don't have, like Cincinnati. I think Cincinnati looks fucking awesome right now. Baltimore Ravens, they look pretty good. Kansas City, I like them because they've had a track record of winning a Super Bowl. They've won 2 Super Bowls with their quarterback, and they can get it done. We had the chance to do it last year and did not do it. We have to
You
do
are.
it this year, and I'm just saying that was a
You're
really sloppy game
you're
on a
tough.
lot of sloppiness. I am a tough
It
critic.
wasn't sloppy. The fourth quarter was
Oh, it
sloppy.
was. Well, hey, that's when it fucking matters. What happens if we lost that game? If we would have
We
lost
didn't.
that game.
We didn't.
What if we did?
We didn't.
But what if we did?
It doesn't matter.
Would you
What
say? Would you feel like, oh, it's only 2 losses. We're 7-2. It's not a big deal. It's no problem.
good thing I don't have to address that conversation, Tom.
Ah, all right. Well, I got some other stats for us too. The Philadelphia Eagles have the tied now for the best record after a Super Bowl hangover record
Oh,
at 8-1. The team that went to the Super Bowl in the following season, the best record with the 2000 Tennessee Titans. Tennessee Titans
okay.
ended up losing to the Baltimore Ravens in the divisional series that year and not making it to the Super Bowl. Great team, Tennessee Titans. They had McNair, Eddie George, yada, yada, yada. Now, we are 8-1 for the 7th time in the history of the Philadelphia Eagles. The other years that we've been 8-1, 1949, 1960, 1980, 2004, 2017, 2022, and this year. Timmy, what do all those years have in common?
Tom, you don't have to tell me, brother. You don't have to tell me. I already know. But pessimists like you would say,
Not a pessimist.
what does that even matter?
That
Those are the years, Tom, that the Eagles have gone to the Super Bowl and won. Well, for the most part, except for last year.
Those are
No,
the
actually,
years that the Eagles have gone to either the NFL championship game because it wasn't a Super Bowl at the time, or they went to the Super Bowl, winning 3 of those of the past 6. Will we go to the Super Bowl this year? We certainly hope so. My only point is we need to play better. I know we've won the games. We need to play better. That's it.
you play to win the game, Tom.
All right. If we don't play better, we won't be winning the game against
Tom,
a
let
good
me
team.
tell you, let me give you a little coaching here, Tom.
Okay.
Football is a game of who makes the least amount of mistakes. That's how it
Okay.
works.
Right.
The team usually that makes the least amount of mistakes usually wins the game. So you want mistake-free football all the time. You're not going to get it. You're
No.
not going to get it.
I
So
know that.
you better prepare yourself, Tom, because in the next probably 8 games, you're going to see some probably mistakes that happen on the field. And you better be good with that because
I am good with that, Timmy. We have lost the turnover battle so far this year. We've turned
yeah,
it over 13 times and only gotten 11 back.
yep.
So those are mistakes. If
Mhm.
you're going to lose a turnover battle, that is mistake football, and you are going to lose games against good teams. We haven't
What I
played a
just
ton
said,
of good teams.
what I just tell you about the secondary and how much they need to improve.
Right.
That's I think there might be two guys that have interceptions, maybe three guys that have interceptions. We might have three picks the entire year right now. That's because of the defensive scheme that Sean Desai's playing. So he needs to be more aggressive. Defensive line needs to get more pressure, and you'll see more turnovers. And Jalen Hurts has to hold on to the ball. That's a recipe for winning.
I agree. So we need to win the turnover battle, aka not playing so sloppy.
Yep. Yeah.
But I'm a positive fan. I will say this. We have a great record, and we can do it. It's not that I don't believe we can do it. I do believe we can do it, and I think we have all the pieces. I'm concerned. I get concerned. I get concerned, Tim. That's all. That's all. I get concerned, and we got a great team, and we just had another great episode of Schmidt and Lavelle.
Tell you what, Tom, I'm a little concerned about
Uh-oh.
my co-host.
Oh no.
I
Why?
don't think I don't think he's buying into what we're preaching here at Schmidt Lavelle.
I am.
Oh,
I'm just pointing out some things. Timmy, we need to win the turnover battle. Right? Am I crazy in saying that? That's not a crazy statement.
no,
I do
that's
think we are the best team in the NFC. And if we make it to the Super Bowl, I think we can beat any team in this league. No doubt.
good.
Will we do it? Time will tell. I know only one team does it. We don't turn over the ball, we win the game. What do you think?
You're 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 spot on, Tom.
We make less mistakes, we win the game. It's a game of mistakes. Am I right?
That's right.
And it's no mistake that you've been listening to Schmidt and Lavelle. In fact, it's a great thing that you've done, and we appreciate you doing it. Like we said before, if you're not already following, subscribing, hit that follow. Get notifications. Get a notification. Hey, Schmidt and Lavelle, new episodes available. Timmy, is there anything you want to say to all the Schmidt and Lavelleites out there before we sign off?
What would the world be without Captain Hook?
That's right. What would the world be without Captain James Hook? And what would the world be without Schmidt and Lavelle? New episodes every Thursday, so you don't have to worry about that. We hope you have a great rest of your week. Bye week for the Eagles. Rest up. Get that secondary figured out. Super Bowl coming. We love you. Have a great week. God bless America.